It is important to have the end in mind. Prepare goals for yourself in order to accomplish your dreams. We have interviewed several students and teachers on how they set their goals.
Did you know you wanted to be a teacher whenever you was in high school?
No. When I was in high school, I had no intentions of being a teacher. My whole thing was going to school to be a veterinarian. And then when I got to college, it went from veterinarian to agriculture extension. And then when I got into the extension, that's whenever I decided I'd really go into the teaching route.
Are you happier with that choice?
Oh yeah, yeah, I'm glad I went that way.
No.
Did you know you wanted to be a teacher when you were in high school?
No, I did not. In fact, I wanted to be a movie theater owner. I didn't want to. That's what I was going to college to do business, so I could own my own movie theater.
Did you know that you wanted to be an officer whenever you was in high school?
Actually, I did. My dad had friends that were highway patrol and a couple of police officers, and I wanted to be a police officer before anything else. But my dad talked me into going to college for mechanical engineering.
What college did you attend?
I attended North Carolina State and studied pre-veterinary medicine, then transferred to Oklahoma State and got a degree in veterinary medicine.
Which college did you attend?
To begin with, I started at Appalachian University, and I was in love and engaged, and so I came home after my first year there, got married, and I finished my undergrad at Gardner-Webb University. I was married, went to school, and commuted, and finished my degree. And then after I had children, I went back and got my master's in school administration from Appalachian. Love Appalachian. Go App.
What did you do in high school to prepare yourself in college?
Well, in high school, you try to become as engaged and diverse as you can. You don't want to. Some people will find that they need to be engaged in a lot of different things, a variety of things, so they can learn and see, kind of experiment what they like and what they don't like. Yeah. But it also grow in that capacity of being a leader here, or being a good student here, a listener, an actor, an athlete, an academic. You know, whatever you want to categorize yourself as long as you are doing well and find that you can connect with it. And I think that's the important part in high school, is that I found ways to connect to people that I like to be around, that had similar interests in common with me, and then I grew with friendships and relationships and then opportunities from there.
What did you do in high school to prepare yourself for college?
Well, I had a good time in high school, you know, but I was always very goal-oriented and driven, and I always wanted to. I had this, you know, I guess from an early age with my mother and father that I was going to be successful. I was the first of 3 boys, and so in high school, I guess, I mean, I played everything I could play as far as athletics, and then, you know, I made sure that I took care of my studies. I really became a really good student when I got to college, because I realized, I guess you could say, that I was paying to go there, you know what I'm saying? In high school, it was like, hey, everybody got to go to high school. And so, you know, I guess there was times when maybe I could have worked harder in high school, as I look back on it now, but in college I became a really good student because I knew how important it was.
What were some of your goals that you set for yourself in college?
Oh, my first year I didn't take it very serious at all, and I really struggled the second semester of the second year, and finally I was on academic probation. I decided I'd come back to UNC Charlotte and finish up my math courses. So I really had to change my goals then.
What are some goals you set for yourself in college?
The goals that I set for myself in college is to finish, because I came home to get married, and my parents, they really kind of thought that I would drop out and I was going to be a first-generation college student, you know, and I've always been a type person to want to make my parents proud. I don't want to disappoint people. I'm a people pleaser, and my parents are huge influences in my life, positive influences in my life, and so I knew that I had disappointed them to an extent as far as not finishing my education before I got married, and they were just so worried that I would quit. So that was a huge motivation intrinsically to do it myself, but also to make sure that my parents were proud of me and to not let them down, because they have always told me that education is something that nobody can ever take away from you, and I firmly believe that. And it always helps you, it always betters you, it always gets you, it opens doors for you in so many different ways. And so I wanted to do it for myself, but I also wanted to do it for my parents because they helped me all the way along throughout my life.
Okay. What are some goals that you set for yourself in college?
First goal I set actually in high school, and that was to get admitted into college. As soon as I got into college, my next goal was to get accepted into veterinary school.
Okay.
Once I got into veterinary school, it was during my senior year in veterinary school that I decided I wanted to teach, and started setting a goal of studying, taking courses to help me with my teaching, and then I applied for faculty positions and was fortunate enough to get on the faculty of Oklahoma State College of Veterinary Medicine as a teacher.
How do you balance being a parent and a principal?
That has been very interesting. It's been good and bad. You know, I think I like the part that I know my children's friends and who they hang around with and that kind of thing. I think that is always a plus. It's been hard because I you know, as soon as I find out my children's teachers, I've always said, I'm not going to bug you. I'm not here to, you know, question. You know, you treat my child as your child. If you need to pop him in the back of the head, pop him in the back of the head. If you need to discipline. I'm not one to jump in and say, oh, I'm Miss Proctor, and you're not going to do this to my child, because that's not how I work. I want them to, you know, do everything like everybody else. But it has been a challenge. Anna, my daughter, when she was here, you know, I was the ATM machine, the locker room. As you can see, I'm still in the locker room for Bryson, and you know, basically the ATM and the pill dispenser and that kind of thing. I guess that's the perk about it, is that they're here and I could give them what they needed right then. But it was also hard because, you know, they would know things go on at school as far as discipline issues and conflicts and stuff like that. They were always very, very curious. And I had to, you know, really watch what I say and make sure that I keep the integrity of my job. And I strive to do that. And so it has been a balance, but I've enjoyed it. I've thoroughly enjoyed it, being a part of it. And I just love children. That's why I went in education, is because I do like children and serving others. But to me, education is a calling. And just like a minister, it is a calling. And this is what I'm supposed to do in life, because I feel more comfortable around you than I do my peers. You know, it's kind of weird. I know y'all probably don't look at me that way, but I just enjoy being around children. And so it's been nice to see them mature academically and physically, emotionally, while I've been here as a principal.
Your question, it is a very difficult job, extremely difficult. I don't think anybody really understands the amount of stress that maybe I go through with, you know, taking care of our weightlifting, and then handling the football team, and then handling my family. And it really is stressful. It puts a lot of pressure on me, and I enjoy that. I mean, I'm not complaining about it whatsoever. But it is a very stressful time because, you know, there's just so much to do in so little amount of time. And I am a perfectionist, and I try to be the hardest worker there is. And I take pride in the fact that our kids are successful. So I try to stay after them on that. And so it is tough. I think sometimes my wife gets upset because, you know, I'm gone so much. And then I have 3 little kids that need daddy's attention too. And so, you know, you just kind of have to maybe go without some sleep sometimes and get up at weird hours to see your kids and spend any time you get a chance with your kids, and then make sure that your football program's in really good shape, and then, you know, try to spend some time with your wife. It's tough. And have some individual time where you're just away from everything, you know. It's really tough.
No.
All right. Can you explain why you want to be an agriculture teacher?
Well, when I was in college, I thought, I didn't know if I didn't really have the teaching route in mind. After I went through some of the other stuff and really want to be a teacher, it really all come back to here. Because I went to school here at Burns, and I was in agriculture. I was president of FFA in 1996. And that really influenced me back when I was in high school. And that's kind of what, and really I guess it's kind of in my back of my brain the whole time, ag teacher, the influences that Mr. Martin, Mr. Piercy had on me, to do that. That's kind of what, brought me back here. And ag is kind of, a lot of people think it's a bunch of rednecks and stuff like this, but I mean, where would you be without agriculture?
What helped you want to get your doctorate, and what objectives did you have to achieve and reach your goal? How did you feel to get your doctorate degree?
Well, with my doctorate, it was just a personal goal that I wanted to make sure that I had the opportunity to achieve. And when I did it at the time out of convenience more than anything, because I knew I had just gotten married, started to have kids, and knew that I didn't want to have to try to juggle all that and more in school. So I tried to get it while my first child was born, and ended up taking until the third child was born to finish up. So I will say that's a challenge, that to try to hold down a full-time job, go to school full-time, and have a family. It's hard. And so when people complain that they can't do something or they don't have time to do something, you have time. It's just about how you prioritize your day. And you may lose a little sleep, you may lose little things you don't want to do, or you want to do, you may not be able a chance to do them anymore, but it's only temporary. And so it was worth it to me, because it was a personal goal that I had.
So what made you want to do two careers, like veterinarian and teaching?
Well, of course, the teaching part didn't come until after I got my veterinary degree, or I was almost finished with my 8 years of schooling for my veterinary degree. It was during that time that I found out who I was and decided that I wanted to teach and share with others, help others accomplish what I've been able to accomplish.
What goals did you set in football, and how did you achieve them?
Well, the goals, I didn't really have a goal in football. It was just to win, help my team get better and win games. We practice hard every day. And I guess practicing hard made me become able to get a scholarship for football. And in the classroom, my grades wasn't all that good before I started the season, so I didn't have no hope of going to college for football, but my coach stayed on my head about it, so I had to work hard, and then I made 2 A's and 2 B's, and now I'm eligible for it, and I still got to keep my grades up, so that's just studying hard every weekend instead of going out, and just that's what got me in the situation I'm in now.
What goals have you set for yourself, and how did you reach them?
Well, when I first started high school, my main goal was just to finish and get through my senior year. And I've already made it to my 2nd semester, so I'm pretty sure that I'm going to make that one. Another goal that I set was to make it into college. I've now been accepted into Gardner-Webb University, and I'm planning on attending there this coming fall semester. I also set goals to be able to pay for this using scholarships and grants. I have received a scholarship from Gardner-Webb, and I'm still waiting on to hear back from others that I've applied for.
What goals did you set for yourself in high school to get the Levine Scholarship?
You know, in 9th grade I really wasn't worried about getting scholarships or anything. I wasn't thinking that far ahead to college. Then 10th grade I had hurt my ankle and I had to start thinking ahead to that. And my goals became really clear then that I wanted to follow right to college because I couldn't get one off of football or off of any of the other athletics that I did. So it had to be purely academic based and community service based. And I kind of just set myself to doing as much as I could with those things. And that's why I went for the Levine Scholarship, because that's purely for community service and academics. And I think that that's one of the big goals that I had and one of the big factors. Another one I think was that all my friends were expecting me to go on and do great things, and my family was too, so I kind of pushed just for them. And that's really about it. Thank you.
How have the goals that you've set for yourself help you achieve your theatrical successes?
Well, in 9th grade, my first goal in theater was just to be able to talk in front of people. I was really nervous and I had the whole shaky knee problem. And once I got that and I got a part in my first ever play, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, I had 13 lines. Ooh. My next goal was to get a bigger part in a better play, and when Mr. McGuire came along, I started doing things like The Curious Savage and Arsenic and Old Lace, where I got bigger parts, and then I finally just worked my way up to lead character in our new spring production, Cinderella.
Any advice or anything to add?
Looking for college, you really just need to find one that connects to you, connects to your personality. That's why there are 300 and something plus colleges for you to pick from in this area, within a good driving distance, a good day's driving distance, and to think that people have there is something for everybody, whether it's community college, whether it's 4-year, whether it's private, public, liberal arts, state, technical, whatever. There's something for everybody, literally, and you just have to be able to find it and find the means to do it. And nowadays there are means to do it, and it's definitely, you have to work for it. Getting to college, you've got to work for it. Nobody's going to hand you that opportunity, and then you've got to work to stay in. Because that's the hardest part. Is a lot of people get into where they want to go, then they don't get the opportunity to stay because they've not taken care of business once they're there. And I think that's the biggest challenge. Is the old story: you look to your left, you look to the right. They won't be here in 4 years when you graduate because 2/3 of y'all are going to drop out after your freshman or sophomore year. It's true, but it's true because maybe people go in there with a misconception of what college is about and don't have a good balance in their life to be able to handle it. So I think that's the thing, is you've got to be able to find a good balance in your life. No matter if you're a freshman in college or a 28-year-old grad student, you still have to find the balance.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any advice or anything to add?
As in what? To finish in school? What?
Is anything you have
Just
to say?
anything. I said that I wasn't the best high school student because I didn't really work. I didn't live up to my potential. And I do believe that everybody needs to work to their potential. They don't ever need to settle for anything but the very best for themselves. I don't care what you strive to do in life. If it's working at McDonald's, I've always told my kids that, especially when I was teaching. If you want to work at McDonald's, that's fine. Just make sure that you strive to be the manager of McDonald's or own your own restaurant, that kind of thing. Don't ever settle, because there's so much more opportunities out there for you. And also on the flip side, you also got to take time for yourself and have friends and enjoy yourself. Family's huge to me, and I believe in and friends, and I believe in keeping that part of your life healthy. I think it's a good balance. Having fun and doing what you love.